You're now live. Hi everybody, how are you? Hope you're all really well. We'll just have a little chat before we get into things while we're waiting for people to join us. So, hope everybody is feeling really happy. And if you're not, well, then I want you to feel happy by the end of this, because today's subject is happiness and manifestation. And they actually go hand in hand, as you're about to find out. I see people joining you. So good to see you too, Marie. So good to see you. So good to see everyone. Hi. Hi, Forrest. Hi, Forrest. Oh, just looking at all of the comments here. Hello from London. Hi. How are you? Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to have you joining me here today. Hi from the Philippines. Goodness. Rob Carroll from Manchester. Do you know Rob? My best friend lives in Manchester, Elaine. And so I'm going to say hi to Elaine as well. I had a note to say hi to her at the end, but hi, Elaine. She's very special to me. Oh gosh, now I get all teary just even talking about that. Oh, Connecticut. Hey, you know what? I could just do the talk, just like reading all of your comments, right? That would just be beautiful. But let me talk about happiness and manifestation. Because it's really interesting. In the secret book, I say that the shortcut to anything and everything is to be happy first. And the reason for that is that on the frequency of happiness is everything that you want that's going to make you happy. Because whatever it is that you want to manifest or to not manifest, you want it because you'll be happier for the having of it or for the not having of it. And so that's why everything that we all want is on the frequency of happiness. And so if you are happy first, happy now, then what happens is it's really easy to manifest. In fact, everything is on that frequency. So while you're on that frequency, everything can come in that you really want. So it's happiness and manifestation, they're just one. They belong together. So I've made some notes here, and I want to make sure that I tell you everything, because I want you to be so empowered after this chat together. Okay, so in the Greater Secret, I explain happiness. I go into a lot more detail about happiness. In fact, there's a whole chapter on happiness, and why I talk about it a lot in the Greater Secret is because happiness is your true nature. It's not actually something that you have, it's something that you are. And so the infinite being that you are is happiness. I mean, you know, you could say that our name is happiness, and that would not be wrong. Because so anytime that you've been happy in your life, like no matter what it was where you've just felt happy, you were getting a tiny glimpse of the infinite being that you are. And so just imagine when you are living from the place of the infinite being that you are, how blissfully happy you would be all of the time. And if you were blissfully happy all of the time, that means you have zero resistance, which means everything manifests. So do you see how beautifully they're all kind of tied in together? Happiness, manifestation, and the infinite being that you are. Now, the infinite being is not the person. Okay, the person is something you're having a lot of fun and adventure experiencing. Maybe it's an adventure, maybe it's fun. That's an experience that you're having, but it's not who you are. And who you are is the infinite being. And who you are can manifest anything, because you are the one and only power in the universe. And when we're coming from the perspective of a person, with all of our wound up beliefs and everything that we've taken on, it's kind of challenging to realize that you are the infinite being that is all the power in the universe. But you are. Even if you find it hard to believe, you still are. So, let's have a look. I'm really good at I do all these notes, but then when I take a look, I've told you everything. So, oh yes. You know, one of the things is when you're really happy, manifestation happens so fast, like instantaneously. And you know, you've seen that happen when there's manifestations that people call miracles. That's just an instantaneous manifestation that happened really fast. And you know, the person who has a miracle happen either has actually no resistance and has total faith that it's going to happen. And then we see what's called a miracle. So they could have total faith in God, for example, but it's their faith that causes them to let go of all resistance. And then when you let go of all resistance, manifestation is immediate. So, okay, so let me just say hi to some people here. Hi Leah, how are you? Leah Edmonds, 100% yay to you too. Yay. Hi from India. Oh, Carolyn. Hi Carolyn from Portugal. Amazing. Okay, so what else do I want to tell you? The other thing I want you to know is this. When you are truly happy, any negativity that is negative, beliefs that don't serve you, any negativity that's in your body that we've kind of suppressed down from experiences that were challenging, while you are happy, all of that is being released. And it's like my teacher would call it a self-cleansing mechanism. So when you're happy, and also, you know, there's something else that I'd like you to just, as an experiment, maybe do, is when you're really happy, just check out your thoughts, because you don't have many thoughts when you're really happy, and all of those thoughts are happy thoughts because you're on the happiness frequency. So what's on the happiness frequency? Only happiness thoughts, right? Okay, so it's time to do some questions. Just looking at some more from Dorset. And wow. Do you know, you all ask the best questions ever. You really do. You are all incredible, absolutely incredible. The questions that you ask, every time I start to see the questions come in, I just can't believe how fantastic they are. So, okay, so I got a couple of questions ahead of time. Hi everybody on Instagram. Oh wow, I'm getting really teary just seeing all of you. Oh wow, Germany, oh my gosh. Found it very moving. Okay, so let me do these questions and answers because I really want them to help you. And you know, if you're hearing any of these things, then you know that what you're hearing is for you as well. So it's not just for the person who's asked the question. You are hearing it too, so it's going to play out in your life as well. Okay, so this is a question from Instagram. I have read all the series of The Secret many times, including The Greatest Secret. My question is, even after awareness, which is The Greatest Secret, I'm finding it difficult to manage one strong belief that I have, that if I miss an opportunity which matters a lot to me, then it takes years to get me another opportunity. And then the person has a feeling of regression. How should I tackle this belief and manifest a new belief? Well, you know, there's two ways that you can do this. But I just think if you just let that belief go, the first thing that's so amazing and that I want to congratulate you for is that you've realized that's a belief. That's fantastic. Because when you can see that something is a belief, you have actually collapsed half of that belief, half of it. So, I mean, that's amazing. And now all you have to do is have the other half go away too. So what I'm going to suggest to you is so that that belief can just completely be gone, and you don't have to replace it with another belief, because once it's gone, it's gone. Now there are two ways. You could create another belief to override it, and that's what is in The Secret. You think lots of positive thoughts, and then that will override the old belief. But you have to kind of stay on that track of thinking those positive thoughts. You can't let the other thoughts come in, otherwise the old belief will begin to override again. So my suggestion is, let's just take that belief out. Let's cut it, right? And for anybody who has any belief that they don't want, like for example, I'm limited. There are only a certain number of things that I can do. I can't do that. I can't do anything that I want. I can't have anything that I want. I can't be anything that I want. If you have any of those beliefs, then you could do this too. So all you need to do is welcome the belief that you don't want. And for this person, this is what you're really going to find interesting, is that this person says that they have a belief that they're finding it difficult to manage. One strong belief that if I miss an opportunity which matters a lot to me, then it takes years to get another opportunity. So the belief that the person has is, if I miss an opportunity which matters a lot to me, right? And so what I want you to do, and I wish I could say your name, but it's Maheta Forum, whatever that is. Okay. So what I want you to do, and this is what my teacher would say to me, welcome wanting to miss opportunities that matter a lot to you. And you're like, what? But if you welcome wanting to miss opportunities that matter a lot to you, and then welcome the feelings that you have of wanting to regress, and welcome any feelings of regression. Now that seems totally contradictory, right? But let me explain, because it's not. Why would you want to miss opportunities that matter a lot to you? Well, actually, the fact that you have a belief of that means that somehow you have thoughts that got into your subconscious mind that formed a belief. And you know that, otherwise you wouldn't have this belief at all. And so you definitely have it. Your subconscious mind thinks you want this, thinks you want it. It's got it all wrong. But it got some thoughts and it just accepted it, and it was maybe when you were a child or you heard somebody say something and you just accepted it. And so that's how we know that we need to take this belief out. And if you welcome wanting to miss opportunities that matter a lot to you, if you welcome it, you release it. You release it. So welcoming is just like opening up like this, welcoming with your arms out, kind of like this, and just welcoming that. And when you welcome that, you are releasing that belief. It's so incredible. Really, it's so easy. It's worth the effort. It really is worth it, because any negative subject, any negative feelings, any belief that you don't want, that's it. That's the one practice. That's why it's in The Greatest Secret, in my latest book, The Greatest Secret, because it's the most important thing you could ever do. I've been doing it now since I met my teacher, which was in 2016. I can't even find a belief. I'd love to find one. Because I'd love to get it, but so everything that we're experiencing is because somehow our subconscious mind thinks we want it. Incredible, right? There are some things we don't want at all, but our subconscious mind thinks we do want it. We have inadvertently believed something, so that's why you welcome wanting something you absolutely don't want, because you're releasing the hidden beliefs that are causing it, you see. It's interesting, isn't it? It's kind of a reverse. She would say, welcome wanting the feeling of fear. And I'd be like, no, I don't want want it. She's like, no, you have to welcome not wanting it. Because look, no, I don't want it. And you're pushing it away. And guess what? You're going like that. You're not going like that. You're going like that. And you're pushing it down inside of you. Super gluing it to yourself. So, okay, next question. When visualizing, a few people ask a similar question to this. When visualizing, do I need to let go of it afterwards and forget about it? Because that is what most stories on the website tell. Or do I need to visualize it every day? I'm confused. So, yes, you let go of it because it's already done. So when you visualize it, you let it go, it's already done. Now, I talked about The Secret a few weeks ago, and I said that I visualized it, but then every day I lived as though it was already done. I didn't visualize it every day. I lived as though it was already done. And so because all it takes is one visualization, yes. And so why people say to let it go is because if you are holding on to it, then you don't believe that you have it already. And you have to believe that you have it already. So it's like this. Let's say you want a dream car and you've been saving for ages and you're finally going to get your dream car. You don't know you can manifest it through The Secret, but you've been saving for ages and you go to the dealership and you test drive the car and you say, I'm going to buy this car, and you buy the car and you get in the car and you drive it home. The next day you're going to visualize wanting a new car. Oh, why? Because you've already got it, right? So that's how you have to feel. You visualize once, it's already done. It's already done. And so then you let it go. And I'm sure for many, many people that they found that when they forgot about it, that's when it manifested. Because when you forget about it, you're not holding on to it anymore, right? So yeah, so you do let it go. You visualize and you do let it go. Okay, let me just talk to you all for a minute. Netsy from New Orleans. Hi, Netsy. On Facebook. Maria. Hi, Maria. Thank you. You're very precious too. You really are. Oh, now let me see all the amazing people on Instagram. You guys are so fast on Instagram. Look at all the hearts. Oh. Sending unlimited hearts to all of you too. Okay. All right, I'm just looking at some questions now. Oh, okay. So let me, because this is interesting. Let on Instagram asks, I have a question about the secret check. I know if you want to purchase something, you write today's date, but I have seen a lot of people write a future date on the check. What is the right process to take with the secret check? So the secret check we have on our website, it's a check from the universe, and basically you fill in the amount of money that you want to manifest. And the check is all filled out, and so it's a really great way to kind of visualize. And then once you filled it in, you put the check in a place where your subconscious mind can see it every day, because you just want him to give it to your subconscious mind. So once it's in your subconscious mind, it manifests. Okay, it's the end of the story. It manifests, and so I mean, you can write today's. Personally, I wouldn't put a future date on it because that's putting it into the future, and I wouldn't do that. I would just put today's date, or you could write, if you wanted to, on the date, you could put now, if you wanted, right? Now, because there's always now, only now anyway, and so you could write it on there, and then just have it somewhere where you could even have it. I wonder if you can have it on your desktop. That'd be really cool. I bet you could do that. I'm looking at the guys here to see if you could have it on your desktop. It's a really good idea if there's something you want to manifest and you put a picture of it on your desktop, because then your subconscious mind is seeing it all the time. You see, you don't even need to really see it with your conscious mind. The subconscious mind is taking in everything all of the time. So, okay, so let's move on to another question. Actually, I'm going to have a sip of water. Just looking at the comments. You are so welcome to everybody saying thank you. Thank you to all of you for being here. Really and truly, it just means so much. Somebody has asked, what if we manifest a wrong thing due to untrained imagination? So I would say we're doing that all the time. We're doing that all the time. Because we will give energy to a thought that we don't want without realizing it, and bingo, it manifests. So whatever we give our attention to, we create. And so we're all creating things that we don't want if we give our attention to things that we don't want, right? That's why Lester Levinson says, the wonderful Lester Levinson says, if you only think about what you want, that's all you'll ever get. Right? And so now I can tell you, the infinite being that you are does not have a single negative thought, ever, or negative feeling ever. Never, ever, ever. No matter what. No matter what's happening, no matter what. Always happy, always enjoy, always allowing of absolutely everything. Never gets upset, never gets hurt. No, is just absolutely blissfully happy all of the time. So what we want to do is not energize any thoughts that we don't want, okay, and just to think about things that we want. And it's kind of, the mind is just a program. You know, it's just like a recording, and so it's very easy to program it positively. If you start to do rampages of things that you love and rampages of things that you're grateful for, then you will start to train the mind to be more positive. And that's the first step, of course, is to train the mind to be more positive. And that's what I did with The Secret, and I manifested an incredible life, and many millions of people have done the same thing, started successful businesses and everything. The second step, which is the greatest secret, is to be free of all negativity, okay? All negativity, and so that's the second step. And it's the most important one, I think, because I know a lot of you ask questions. How do you stop the sadness? How do you stop the grief? How do you stop negativity from coming in? The mind is always going to have, some negative thoughts here and there. It's just whether you believe those thoughts or not. Because do you know that a thought doesn't have any power at all? It's when you empower it by believing it or giving it attention. It doesn't have any power by itself. You're the one with all the power. Remember I said to you before that you're the infinite being. You are all the power there is. Well, when you give attention to a thought, when you energize a thought, that is when it manifests. That's how powerful we are. And we're so powerful. We create things that we want, that we don't want. We're just creating everywhere, all over the place. So, all right. So, next question. Oh, I want to answer all of your questions. Oh, I could be here forever, couldn't I, really? Just answering them all. Right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so my question is, do I have to let go of all my desires to experience the happiness of my true self? That's a really good question. And I know that person has kind of gone deep into teachings to ask that question. And my answer to that is no. You just have to let go of all the attachments to your desires. Okay? When we let go of all our attachments to desires, guess what happens? All our desires manifest. Because when we don't have attachment to our desires, we don't have resistance. And so I don't know that, I try to think if I have many desires anymore. I just love everything, the way life is, just the way it is. Even the tricky stuff, even the curly stuff, even the sticky stuff, it's all just kind of fine. But I don't have an attachment to the way it's going to work out, because I know that everything is fine. I know we're all safe. I know we're eternal. I know there's no end to any of us. I know we're having an adventure. We're having a human experience. And it's interesting at times, isn't it? And it's fantastic at other times. I actually look at the world and I think it's incredible. I really think it's something else. But I don't get so perturbed. I don't get perturbed by all of those things. It's just anymore. And so if you don't have attachment to things, then life is really, really great, actually. Attachments that kind of hurt us. Okay, Jill is saying, what do you mean by attachment to your desires? Okay, so attachment is like when I really, really want something and I've really, really got to have it. It's something that you really, really want and I've really got to have it. And I want it and I can't be happy until I have it. Life isn't going to be good until I have it. That's like an attachment to your desire. Whereas if you were like, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have a new house? Okay, so here's the difference. I really, really want a new house. I can't stand this house. This house is falling down. This house has a lot of problems. And then on the other side of that is, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have a new house? Can you feel the difference? This one is effortless. It's kind of effortless. Wouldn't it be nice? So you could say that in front of all of your desires. Wouldn't it be nice if I had this? Wouldn't it be nice? And so that you're not kind of attached. Because when you're attached, it's really hard for it to manifest, okay? So, well, what's rampage? Let me just finish answering this question. So, in The Greater Secret, I talk about attachment. I do a whole section on it, and I do it because it's important. Because you can have whatever you want, but attachment is something. Attachment is full of fear. Fear that you're not going to have it. You can love somebody and then you can be attached that you'll be afraid of losing them. You see, love isn't afraid of anything. Attachment is afraid of losing something. So that's kind of the difference. But if you just say, wouldn't it be nice, then it's like really easy going. I mean, you've got a magic wand. You can create anything you want, but you just got to be really cool about it, right? You got to be, I can do that, I can have that, I can be that. Okay, so somebody's asked what's a rampage on Facebook. Per Newton asked what's a rampage. A rampage is when you get law of attraction to help you with a whole lot of thoughts. So law of attraction kicks in after about 17 seconds. So if you start to think thoughts of that, for example, if you wanted to do a gratitude rampage, or a rampage about all of the things that you love. So I love fresh flowers. I love being on Facebook, Instagram Live with all of you guys. I love connecting with you all. I love reading all of your questions. I love hearing how you're going. I love to see all of the countries all around the world that you're all coming from. And after 17 seconds, law of attraction kicks in and you will find, whoa, there's just so many thoughts, right? You can't keep up with them all. That's a rampage. And that's really powerful. So, okay, so, 30 minutes, I'm going to sneak another one in, just very quickly. This is from Natalie. I've recently listened to the audiobook of The Greater Secret. You say that we are our awareness and we should never be afraid of dying because our life is infinite. It's not that we should never be afraid of dying. It's just that as awareness, we are not afraid, right? But how does that stop us from being afraid of leaving the people we love behind? Okay, so I wanted to answer this because it's a really good question, Natalie. From the perspective of the person, okay, we will be afraid of leaving the people we love. From the perspective of the person, which is the mind and the ego, we'll be afraid of dying, okay? But from the perspective of the infinite being that you are, which is awareness, you can never be afraid of anything, and you will never be afraid of leaving anyone, because you know that you can never be separated from anyone, ever, because we are one. You will never be separated from anyone. And so from the perspective of the infinite being who knows that everything is perfect, that everything is just fine, that bodies end, but we do not end, there is no fear at all. And so what's really tricky is if you are trying to get the person not to be afraid, or the ego and the mind not to be afraid, and trying to get the ego mind not to be afraid of leaving people behind, you're never going to do it, okay? It's never going to happen. Because the ego and the mind, the ego is afraid of dying, always going to be. That's why you want to get off the ego boat and get onto the infinite being boat, right? Because the infinite being knows everything is fine and is always joyful and is always happy. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go and leave you guys. I have to talk about something. I can do one more question. This one and the blues. I'm just looking at the questions here. Okay. I think this question's maybe a good one because, I think a lot of people might experience this. How do you stay happy if you are surrounded by negative people that prevent that? Peace and love from the UK. Okay, and so if you can welcome the negative people, if you can see, what's stopping you from being happy is the resisting the negative people. Like, you can't jump inside them and make them happy. So they're going to be whatever they're going to be. Your job is an inside job, and your job is for you to be happy. And you can be happy naturally by not resisting anything. Okay, and so if they're that way, this is a really good training ground for you and really good training ground for others, because I've noticed a few questions are similar to this. And so it's really good for you. Imagine if you are surrounded by people that are negative and you are so happy and it doesn't affect you at all. I remember this incredible teacher once said to a student was having trouble. They were in India and they were having trouble sleeping because the place that they were staying in was near a marketplace in India. Imagine how noisy that would be. And they said to the teacher that they were really tired because of the noise in the marketplace. And the teacher said, you should be able to stand in the middle of the marketplace and be in utter peace. Now that's freedom. And you can do it. You can do it. And so with those people around you that are negative, instead of resisting them, is just to welcome the feeling that you feel when they're being negative. And welcoming is just like opening up your arms so that you're not resisting anymore. And what you're doing is you just open up your attention. So you're not focused on anything. Okay, nothing at all. It's kind of like when you're daydreaming. You know, when you're daydreaming that you don't focus on anything? That's sort of what it's like. You just open your attention. Oh, there's such peace when you do that. So beautiful. And as you do that, all the negativity, any negativity we have inside of us begins to unwind, and we're unleashing all of the happiness arising from within us too. So I hope that helps you. I love you all so much. Thank you for being so amazing. I'm so happy that we are all together, the infinite being that we are. No wonder. I love you so much. Take care, and I'll see you again really soon. Okay, lots of love. Bye, everybody.